Good morning. I hope everybody is doing okay this morning. Happy Wednesday. Excuse me. It is stormy and gross outside, so I am sitting at my desk today. I hope everyone is doing well. All right, so today we're going to talk about breaking free from burnout. This is day 2. So did you know that burnout rarely happens overnight? Yeah, it sneaks up on us. Imagine you're driving your car with the check engine light on, but instead of stopping to take care of it, you keep going until one day the engine gives out. The truth is, our bodies and our minds send us check engine warnings long before burnout takes over, but we're often too busy to notice, or we push through hoping things will just magically get better. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back to day 2 of breaking free from burnout. I'm Teresa, your freedom mindset and recovery coach. Yesterday, we talked about why high achievers burn out and the devastating cost of ignoring it. Today, we're diving into a critical piece of the puzzle, which is recognizing early warning signs of burnout and patterns of burnout. By the end of this session, you'll be able to identify the subtle but powerful signals that burnout is creeping in. And trust me, catching them early can make a world of difference. So, part 1, why recognizing burnout early is crucial. Burnout doesn't hit us like a freight train. It's more like a slow leak that eventually drains your energy, your focus, and your passion. The sooner you recognize it, the easier it becomes to reverse the course. But the longer you ignore it, the longer you ignore the signs, the harder it becomes to recover. So why early recognition matters? Number 1 is it prevents long-term damage. Chronic stress can lead to irreversible effects on the brain and the body if it's left unchecked. And I kind of touched on this last week when we were talking about trauma, and I was talking about big T trauma, little t trauma, and how chronic stress can be little t trauma. And if you want more information on that, you can go back and watch the live series or watch the podcast episode that dropped yesterday. And I put all of that together in one place for you. Okay, so let's see. Number 2 is preserves emotional health. Early intervention reduces the risk of anxiety, depression, and emotional exhaustion. Number 3 is saves relationships and career. Recognizing warning signs early helps to protect our relationships and maintain career satisfaction. So it's really important, for the success of our relationships and our work that we are tuned in, paying attention, and recognizing the signs of burnout before they get out of control. Early warning signs of burnout. This is what we've all been waiting for. How do I know if I'm burning out? Now, let's talk about the 5 early warning signs that high achievers often miss or ignore. Persistent exhaustion even after resting. So if you're feeling drained, no matter how much sleep you get or rest you get, it's not just physical tiredness, it's emotional and mental fatigue. You wake up feeling just as tired as when you went to bed. That's a sign that you might be suffering from some burnout. When you feel like your tank is always empty, your body is telling you that it's time to pause and reset. Number 2 is a lack of motivation and passion. Tasks that once excited you now feel like a burden. You lose enthusiasm for work, hobbies, and even friendships or relationships. And high achievers often push through this phase, but it is a major red flag. When you stop feeling passionate about things that used to energize you, that is a sign that you are approaching burnout. Number 3 is increased irritability and emotional sensitivity. So, small annoyances feel like big problems. You're more reactive, snapping at colleagues, family, or friends. Your emotional resilience decreases and you feel emotionally drained. So, I used the word resilience last week and I kind of explained it then, but resilience is basically your ability to overcome. So emotional triggers, emotional things just become so much bigger and they drain you so much faster. Let's see. And then if you find yourself on the edge or overly sensitive, it's time to check in and ask yourself if burnout is to blame. I know none of us wants to think that we're burned out, but it's really important to check in, make sure that you're doing well, and change some things if you're not. Difficulty concentrating is number 4, or decision fatigue. So if you're struggling to focus, make decisions, or complete tasks effectively, this is a sign that burnout is creeping in. Simple tasks feel overwhelming or mentally exhausting. This often leads to procrastination, and we did a whole series on procrastination a few weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I think. And you can go back and watch that one if you are suffering from procrastination. But this just compounds the stress. So, pro tip: when decision making feels impossible, your brain is signaling to you that it's time to slow down and reset. Number 5, physical symptoms of chronic stress: frequent headaches, digestive issues, muscle tension, immune system weakening, so you start to get sick more and more often. Chronic stress puts the body in a prolonged state of fight or flight mode, which leads to physical wear and tear. Guys, this is no way to live. I lived in this mode for so long, and I don't want any of you to do it. When your body starts talking to you, it's time to listen. Physical symptoms are the final warning sign. Listen up. Pay attention to what your body is telling you. So, common patterns that high achievers ignore. High achievers, especially I keep using veterinarians, doctors. Someone brought up teachers. Yes, teachers. Teachers are some of the biggest high achievers I know out there. They decided they like school so much that they wanted to do it for a living. To all my teachers out there, my teacher friends, I love y'all. But anyway, and other professionals who thrive in high stakes environments often fall into patterns that accelerate burnout without realizing it. So here's 3 common patterns I've seen with my clients: saying yes to everything, projects, social commitments, extra responsibilities, and leaving 0 time for rest. That the belief that busy equals success often perpetuates this cycle of saying yes to everything and leaving no time for rest and self-care. Ignoring emotional and physical needs, skipping meals, sacrificing sleep, neglecting bedtime, suppressing emotions, or instead of processing them, and over time ignoring these signs, ignoring these needs that your body has, leads to emotional numbness and physical breakdown, friends. Stop ignoring your body's needs. Isolation and a lack of support. So we will start withdrawing from our support systems because it feels easier to just push through. We avoid difficult conversations or asking for help, and this isolation fuels feelings of loneliness and worsens burnout. Awareness of these patterns is the first step towards change. Once you recognize the pattern, you can disrupt it. There's hope. You can disrupt it. But you have to first recognize the patterns, and that's why I wanted to share them with you. All right. I remember working with a veterinarian. I work with a lot of veterinarians, in case you guys didn't know. For whatever reason. I worked with a veterinarian who was passionate about her work, but was running on fumes. She was experiencing all the warning signs of all of them: exhaustion, irritability, decision fatigue, but she kept pushing through. When she finally took a step back and identified her patterns of overcommitting and ignoring her emotional needs, everything changed. She realized that by recognizing the patterns early and making small adjustments, she could prevent total burnout. Today, she is thriving because she learned to listen to her body and her mind before they hit a breaking point. So burnout whispers to us before it screams, guys. Recognizing these early warning signs and patterns gives you the power to take back control before it's too late. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the crucial piece of preventing burnout, setting boundaries and prioritizing rest. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. So now I want to hear from you. Which one of these warning signs or patterns do you recognize in your own life? Drop it in the comments and let's start the conversation. If this message resonated with you, tag a friend who needs to hear it, share it on your social stories. And until tomorrow, be well, be kind, and may you find some joy today. Bye.